goes the dynamite. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. Maybe you're overseas, who knows. John here from Hollow Justice Comics in Parker, walking you through our weekly FOC Roundup post. I didn't type this up last night because I was out with some friends eating and drinking childless. That was nice. So I had to do this morning, which is why I'm a little late to the game. But we're here. So here we go. We're going to talk about this stuff. This is all the information that you need that's on FOC. This coming August 8th, Sunday for DC product, August 9th, Monday for everybody else. FOC stands for Final Order Cutoff. It's basically last call for comic books. It's your last attempt to let us know what it is that you'd like to order before I have to set my orders 2 weeks to a month before the books ship out to us. So it's crucial for you to pay attention, because if you don't get your requests in at FOC, none of the stuff that you're asking for is guaranteed. That way, you've got to come in the week that it comes out and hope that we still have copies on the rack if you would like something. By placing a request at FOC for the titles that you're interested in, it gets you close. It's not perfect because we still have to rely on the lovely folks at UPS to not just beat our boxes up to actual crap, resulting in damages or shortages from the Diamond Warehouse. So it gets you close. It doesn't get you all the way there, but we at least can help along the way. We can try to get everything situated for you. So all this stuff that we're talking about, again, DC product is due Sunday, August 8th by 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Everybody else is Monday, August 9th. If you would like to subscribe to something, I forgot what I did. I didn't put the link in the post. That's okay. If you're watching this on Facebook, go to our Facebook page afterwards. Find the post that I put up earlier this morning. And if you have anything that you would like to add, either sub or pull to your subscription, you can comment on that post. Please don't do it right here on this live video, because about a month and a half ago, Facebook actually took our live FOC video down because we were in violation of their selling guidelines or something like that. So instead of commenting here, please comment on the post on Facebook. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, the sky is the limit. Have fun, request whatever it is you want, because YouTube don't play that game, okay? Sub and pull are the two words that we want you to use when you're making your requests. Sub gets the item added to your subscription, that way you don't miss out on an issue as the book is coming out. Pull means that you just want to pull a single copy of, or multiple copies of a particular comic book. Maybe you're not sure if you want to read, if you want to commit to subsequent issues, but pull will get you a copy or multiple copies of whichever covers you'd like to order, as long as you let us know by Sunday or Monday, okay? The last little thing I like to point out is this statement right there, that covers that are in bold did not have images at the time I wrote this up last night, so but I'll show you a workaround to get to those images throughout the weekend, okay? So first up from Dark Horse, I'm kind of excited about this one. We got a new book that's written by Mark Guggenheim, who of course wrote the Arrow TV series. This is called Last Flight Out. It's a 4-issue miniseries. With Earth rendered uninhabitable, humanity has chosen to evacuate to the stars. But with just 24 hours left until the last ark designed to evacuate Earth's residents leaves forever, its designer's estranged daughter goes missing. So Mark Guggenheim and Eduardo Ferragato tell the story of an absentee father trying to make amends with his daughter, literally during the end of the world. Only one cover right there for you, the Eduardo Ferragato cover. That's what it's going to look like inside Last Flight Out, number 1 of 4. I'm pretty jazzed about this too, to be honest with you. If you have kids, or even if you don't have kids, if you're a grown man-child like myself, you probably know about Jeffrey Brown and his Darth Vader and Son and Darth Vader and Daughter comic books, maybe Jedi Academy. Dude's super famous for writing and drawing the Darth Vader and Son comic book. He has a new original all-ages graphic novel coming out from DC called Batman and Robin and Howard. To Damian Wayne, there is nothing more important than protecting the streets of Gotham City as Robin, but when he makes a critical mistake while out on patrol, Damian finds himself benched. And what's more is that Damien's dad, Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, decides that starting over at a new school will be just the distraction Damien needs from his superhero routine. So it's like Billy Madison, but with Damian Wayne. Certain that Gotham Metro Academy has nothing to teach him, Damien is completely unprepared for the challenge he finds in Howard, the smartest and most athletic kid in school. The boys' rivalry is instantaneous and fierce, and both are sure only one of them can be the best in their class. Written and drawn by Jeffrey Brown. There you go. Batman and Robin and Howard. Okay? Next from Batman, this is... Okay, I should have had a checklist of it. There's a lot of stuff that I'm failing on this morning, folks, and that's okay, because that happens in life. This book right here starts a whole series of crossovers and one-shots called Fear State. That starts with Fear State Alpha #1, written by James Tynion, with interior art by Riccardo Federici, which is pretty rad. The event over a year in the making begins now. Fear State settles upon Gotham City and no one is safe. Overwhelmed by the dual threat of the Scarecrow and Peacekeeper 01, Batman and his allies have been one step behind since the events of Infinite Frontier #0. And with the arrival of a mysterious anti-Oracle, so that means she can't see anything? I don't know. And the return of Poison Ivy, Batman might have more than he can handle. Main cover over there on the far left is by Ben Oliver, with a variant cover right here beside me by Dylan Teague. $4.99 main cover, $5.99 variant cover. But again, this is going to be a springboard from the Bat title into Nightwing and Catwoman and a whole host of one-shots. So if you want to go all in with Fear State, please let us know. I'll try to get a checklist together that I can post later this afternoon. That way you can see the size and scope of what Mr. Tynion has for Mr. Wayne. Okay? Next from DC, the rest of the stuff that we're going to talk about today are all annuals. These books are technically hitting the 1st of September, I believe. And that fifth week of the month, first week of the month is always generally light because there's just nothing coming out. And so DC likes to drop a bunch of annuals when that happens, and here's the start of them. We've got the Batman Superman 2021 Annual #1. The epic epilogue. Wouldn't that just be an epic log? Epic epilogue to the Archive of Worlds saga. In his pursuit of perfection, the godlike Auteur.io sought to create and destroy worlds with a wave of a hand and a flair for the dramatic. But against all odds, the world of the night and the world of tomorrow live on. The Batman of the noir-tinged streets of Gotham City finds himself stranded in the sunny, retro-futurist world of tomorrow, and Superman discovers himself in the opposite predicament. With their homeworlds in decay and only one chance to save them, the key to preserving their very existence is but the flip of a coin. Or the flip of this book, because it's a flip book, if you can't tell by the cover. This special flip book is 2 times the story, with one full comic on one side and one full comic on the other, meeting in the middle. Follow Superman's journey on one side of this epic flip book annual, turn the adventure over to crusade with Batman and his trusty sidekick Robin. Cover A, flip book cover by Mr. Brian Hitch. Cover B, flip book cover by Mr. Franco Francavilla, and they are $5.99 and $6.99 respectively. Okay, look at the B cover for this next one, kids. Man, that David Nakayama knows how to draw. Next from DC, we've got the Green Lantern Annual #1. Once an agoraphobic scared to leave even her room, Jessica Cruz overcame her fear to become a Green Lantern and face the darkest and deadliest threats in the universe. But now Jessica's gone from overcoming fear to using it as a weapon. When Yellow Lanterns attacked the Green Lantern sector house, she took refuge in. When the central power battery was destroyed, Jessica turned the tables on them, giving them something to be afraid of, as she beat them one by one. But now that she's been offered a place in the Sinestro Corps, will she accept? 2 covers to choose from. Cover A on the left is by Bernard Chang. Cover B, that is just fantastic, by David Nakayama. $5.99, $6.99 respectively. Okay. Next from DC, Harley Quinn gets an annual as well. Kevin here, you know Harley's sidekick and your favorite new character. I know Harley usually does these solicits, but she's a little tied up at the moment, like literally. See, there's a new villain in Gotham calling himself Keepsake, And you know how Gotham villains are, definite psychological issues. So Keepsake kidnapped Harley while trying to convince her to be his partner and help take over the city. Now, I don't mean to imply that Harley's not capable all on her own, but this time she needs a little help, which means I'm teaming up with Solomon Grundy so we can visit Gotham's worst criminals and figure out where Harley might be. Plus a major new Bat villain. Okay, pay attention, kids. Harley Quinn Annual #1. The first appearance of Keepsake and a major new Bat villain. $5.99, $6.99 for the regular cover by David LaFuente, and the B cover right here beside me by Mr. Derek Chu. Don't miss out on that. I'm telling you on Thursday. Yay! Next from DC comes the Midnighter Annual #1, the big finish to the adventure starting all the way back in the conclusion of Future State Superman Worlds at War. That was like in January, I think. Midnighter traveled into the future to help get himself out of a jam, only to swap places with his future self. Now the Midnighter from the future finds himself trapped in a paradox, working his way back to his one-time present to swap places again. Don't worry if you're confused, so is he. The key to this whole thing is Andrzej Trojan, the nefarious industrialist who tried using Superman's mission on Warworld to end his own end. Midnighter has been carrying Trojan's robotic skull with him, hunting for the 2021 iteration of the man and shutting his whole company down before any of this trouble even starts. Finishing the serial, which runs in the back of Action Comics, this time travel escapade also leads into Superman and the Authority, with a main cover by Michael Avon Oeming and a variant cover by ACO. $5.99, $6.99. That sounds like a big mess. But it's Wildstorm and it's Midnighter, so yay! Finally, from DC, we got the Suicide Squad Annual #1. Everyone questioned how the teen calling himself Connor Kent came to be recruited into the Suicide Squad by Amanda Waller. But as Superboy sneaks into the bowels of a top-secret Task Force X black site, that's a lot of hard letters, what he finds changes all he thinks he knows about himself and his history. This oversized annual alters everything for the only hero on the squad and makes him question what to do next, now that he knows the truth behind his origin. Cover A on the left by Eduardo Pansica. Cover B is by Gerald Perel, $5.99, $6.99. Okay, so we talked about this a couple weeks ago, how Ant has had a 15-year hiatus and just came back with the final issue, #12, I think it was. Well, Eric Larson said, screw that, we're going to launch a new Ant series, and here you go, Ant #1, written and drawn by Eric Larson with covers by Eric Larson. Ant, who is she and how she came to be? Eric Larson takes on a whole new wall crawler. Ant's epic adventure kicks off with this all-new origin issue, a new ongoing title by Eric Larson, and all the covers are by Eric Larson, but covers A through D are regular, and covers E through H have a retro trade dress. So there's 8 of them. So A, B, C, D, okay? And then you got A, B retro, C, D retro. So there you go. So camera 1, regular covers, retro trade dress, retro trade dress. $3.99 for the Ant #1. Next from Image comes Beauty All Good Things #1. This is just a one-shot who is also picking up the pieces, finishing the series that somehow took a break, 2 years ago. Jeremy Hahn and Jason Hurley, along with artist Matthew Dow Smith, return to the devastating world of the Beauty. If you don't remember, that is an STD that makes you beautiful, but at the same time, at some point in time after contracting it, you spontaneously combust. So they return to the world of the Beauty for a 48-page special showcasing the finale of the groundbreaking horror series. #BeautyFree. Cover is by Jeremy Hahn right there, and it is $4.99, but it's also 48 pages. Okay, we don't normally highlight trade paperbacks, but this book has taken everybody by surprise. From Image, Trish Forstner and Tony Fleecis, their breakout runaway train success smash hit Stray Dogs. The trade paperback collecting the 5-issue series is on FOC on Monday. So if you missed out, if you didn't catch in on any of the hype, we just got a final wave of printings that came in this week, and I think we still have most of those available on the rack. If you don't want to collect the single issues, here is your chance to read the whole dang thing in a trade paperback for 17 bucks. Okay? Stray Dogs trade paperback. There you go. For Marvel this week, we have Dark Ages number 1 of 5. It's just we're moving from event to event to event to event. Toot toot, get on the event train. This is what the Watcher has been watching for. A danger older than the Earth threatens everything. For once, the heroes who have saved the planet so many times are almost powerless in the face of it. X-Men and Avengers assemble. Spider-People and Fantastic Four come together. Heroes for hire fight alongside champions, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. None of it will be enough. Who are you going to call? The Ghostbusters. The lights are about to go out, the world outside our window is about to end, an all-new saga of the Marvel Universe as you've never seen it before, written by Tom Taylor, X-23, Suicide Squad, Deceased, with art by Ivan Coelho, who did the main cover over there on the left. So it's it's going to be good. It's Tom Taylor. That guy, his star is rising almost as fast as Mr. Tinian. So main cover far left by Ivan Coelho, black blank variant right there for your eyeballs. Stormbreaker variant on the far left by Patrick Gleason. Everybody grabbing their pain sections right there by Ian Hyuk Lee, and Scotty Young with the Night the Lights Went Out in New York City. With a cover there featuring Spider-Man. So Dark Ages number 1 of 5. Next from Marvel comes Demon Days Cursed Web number 1, also just a one-shot. Spiders and wolves and yokai, oh my. Mariko Yoshida journeys deep into a dark forest to find answers about her past. Instead, she finds a magical wolf with 3 toes and a strange girl with a pet spider. But there are deadly creatures in these woods too, a mysterious blue-skinned woman and a giant with super strength and claws, and they're after Mariko. Don't miss this epic tale straight from the creative mind of Stormbreaker Peach Momoko. Book 3 of 5. If you remember, Demon Days X-Men was part 1, Demon Days Mariko was part 2, now we have Cursed Web, which is part 3. Main cover on the far left is by Peach Momoko. Variant cover right here beside me is the Mystique cover by Jenny Frison. We've got on the far left a cover by Agnes Garboska, a cover by Gurahiru. There is a Ron Lim variant that we were missing at the time that we wrote this up. And last but not least, we got Silk on the cover by Jung Gen Yoon. Okay, so that is 5 covers out of 6. Not too shabby. Cover price $4.99. Next from Marvel comes Fantastic Four number 35, the 60th anniversary of the FF. A titanic 60th anniversary issue, the entire Kang bloodline is out to destroy every era of the Fantastic Four. How can Reed, Sue, Ben, and Johnny hope to survive simultaneous attacks across their lifetimes by Rama Tut, the Scarlet Centurion, Kang the Conqueror, and Kang's final descendant, the sinister Scion? Join the FF and some special surprise guest stars as John Romita Jr. returns to Marvel and joins forces with writers Dan Slott for this celebratory adventure. Marvel's first family will literally never be the same again. Main cover over there on the far left is by Mark Brooks. There is a Betsy Cola variant that we did not have the image for when we wrote this up last night. Here we have the John Romita Jr. wraparound cover. There is the NetTease Games variant cover on the far left, and we have the Elizabeth Torque variant right here beside me. $9.99. It's going to be a 100-page book. Fantastic Four number 35, the 60th anniversary issue, 10 bucks. Okay? Next from Marvel comes Kazar Marvel Tales number 1, also a one-shot. Kazar and his faithful friend Zabu leap into action as we celebrate the legacy of the House of Ideas with Marvel Tales. This anthology series shines a spotlight on fan-favorite characters, features timeless stories, and highlights some of Marvel's most impressive talent from the past 8 decades. Legendary X-Men scribe Chris Claremont and a trio of acclaimed artists Michael Golden, Dave Cockrum, and Paul Smith present one of the best-looking Savage Land sagas of all as Kazar teams up with Angel, Spider-Man, and the X-Men in stories from Marvel Fanfare number 1 through 4. It starts with the search for the man once called Sauron, but when Angel and Spidey undergo a monstrous transformation, the Jungle Lord will face the consequences. As Sauron soars once more, the X-Men fall victim to the winged menace, and Kazar must ride to the rescue. $8 for that reprint issue with a new cover by Joshua Swaby. Next from Marvel, Last Annihilation, Wiccan and Hulkling #1, just a one-shot. Worlds apart but never alone. The Last Annihilation has hit the Kree-Skrull Alliance. Wiccan and Hulkling must split up to simultaneously defend 2 planets against the mindless army. But will the individual newlyweds be enough to fight off the forces of Dormammu, or will they become the next casualty in this senseless war? With a main cover on the left by Luciano Vecchio and a variant cover right here beside me by David Lopez. $4.99 for that one shot. Next from Marvel, we've got the facsimile edition of Miles Morales' first appearance in Ultimate Fallout #4. That's a great place to announce this month has Miles Morales anniversary variants for most of the covers that not that you've seen, but if you look at the list that we're going to talk about at the very end of this show, you can see all of the open to order Miles Morales anniversary covers. I'll walk you through that here in a second. Facsimile edition, exact reprint of Ultimate Fallout 4, ads and all, $3.99. That's a hell of a deal for a book that is just skyrocketing in value right now. Okay? That's it from AWA this week. We've got Telepaths #1 of 6, the brand new epic from comic book legends J. Michael Straczynski and Steve Epting. An electromagnetic disturbance results in the sudden awakening of telepathic powers in 1/10 of the Earth's population. In the moments after the world comes to grip with this development, newly Boston? I don't know what that means. I might have copied that wrong. Find themselves set against a wrongly convicted prisoner who's become a hero and leader of other telepaths trying to escape a world in which their powers will make them targets. Both are heroes of their own story, and the future may depend on whether or not trust can be found between them. Cover A on the far left by Steve Epting, cover B right here beside me by Mike Diodato. $4. You're going to see a couple of things that are on FOC this week that were on FOC last week. So I don't know if numbers didn't come in high enough for those publishers, but here's one of them from Vault. We've got Dead Box #1. Welcome to the town of Lost Turkey, where the main source of entertainment is a cursed DVD machine that seems to know more about the fate of its citizens than they do. Written by Mark Russell with art by Ben Tiesma. Cover A on the left is by Ben Tiesma, and cover B right here beside me is by Corinne Howell. Instead of Redbox, let's go rent at the Dead Box. Oh my gosh, I want to hit my head against the table with this one. From Dynamite this week, we've got a new Red Sonja #1. Yay! This time it's written by Mirka Andolfo, which is a big yay, but come on, it's too much, Dynamite. Mother, Part 1. Industry icon Mirka Andolfo presents an all-new vision for the She-Devil with a Sword in a thrilling new ongoing series. Our story begins in a village on fire, set by members of the dreaded Three-Eye Shesm. When Red Sonja arrives, the only survivor of the flame is a lively child with curious white tattoos. The child will become Sonja's travel companion on a journey from hardened ice to imposing forests where dangerous secrets wait to be revealed. Begin a trailblazing adventure with Mirka and incredible artist Giuseppe Cafaro with a whole mess of covers. Cover A on the far left is by Mirka Andolfo. Cover B right here beside me is by Jay Ancelato. Cover C over there on the left is by Joe Linsner. Cover D is by, I can't remember her name, Erica D'Urso. We've got a cosplay cover over there on the left and a blank cover. So the brand new Red Sonja #1 by Mirka Andolfo. From Action Lab this week, we have a new book called Hath No Fury #1. Hath No Fury is a fantasy story about 2 powerful women, each leaders of their people, who are forced into an unlikely alliance to save thousands from the depredations of a vicious tyrant. Thrown into an unfamiliar world and beset by dangers both magical and mundane, Freya and Yatzil will have to learn to cooperate to survive. With a cover right there on your screen by Judd Abinuman. $3.99, Hath No Fury #1. From Aftershock this week comes Almost American #1. Spies Like Us? ? In 2008, husband and wife Russian intelligence operatives walked into the U.S. Embassy in the Dominican Republic in order to defect, making a deal to trade secrets for new lives. But instead of the American dream, Janosch and Victoria Newman found themselves caught up in red tape, bureaucracy, and turf wars between the FBI and the CIA, all while their past tries to kill them. Based on the real-life story of real-life spies, Almost American is written by comics master Ron Mars, who's been Close Consultation with the Newmans, with art by rising star Marco Castiello, and a cover right there for you by Russ Wooten. Almost American #1 from Aftershock, $4.99. That sounds awesome. From Oni Press this week comes Rick and Morty Mr. Nimbus #1. This is one of their quarterly one-shots. Straight out of the Rick and Morty Season 5 premiere comes Mr. Nimbus. The origins of Rick's mightiest foe are revealed in this very special issue of Rick and Morty Presents. Love, war, fish, and friendship undergo the battering sea of time and tide. Cover A on the left is by Ryan Lee. Cover B right here beside me is by Emmett Hobbs, and they are both $4.99. Okay? All right, that brings us to our subsequent print speculation section. That's a little segment where we like to highlight some of the comics that have subsequent prints available at FOC. Subsequent prints generally have smaller print runs than the originals and lately command a higher price on the secondary market the week that they come out. So we focus on these things, we let you know about them so that you guys have an opportunity to order them and get them at cover price in your hold slot, okay? From Aftershock, we have Kaiju Score #1 with a third print. This has been optioned. An announcement popped a couple of weeks ago that the script, I think, has been finalized, or maybe directors are attached to it, but this is one of Aftershock's big wins, Kaiju Score, and they're going back to press with it, so that's pretty cool. From Black Mask, we have 3 this week. We've got Alice in Leatherland #1 with a third print, White #1 with a third print, and White #2 with the second print, all of which I didn't have covers for. So I'll show you how you can make sure that you order those and check for covers throughout the weekend, I guess I should say. From Fantagraphics, we have Red Room #1 with a second print sketch cover that was on FOC a couple of weeks ago, but I guess they're redoing it, so there's that for you. From Marvel, we have Moon Knight #1 that's getting a second print, so that's pretty cool because I know we're sold out. I don't know how sold out some other stores are, but we went big and it sold out. And finally, from Vault, we've got The Last Book You'll Ever Read #1 with a second print. That came out last week, sold out, going back to print. There you go. Cullen Bunn's creepy The Ring style horror story about a book that you read and makes you want to kill people. All right, and that brings us to our Who Does #2 work for segment. It's a little spot where we draw attention to issue #2s that are on FOC. You might have grabbed issue #1 off the rack either this week or last week, and if you enjoyed it, let us know so that we can at least order you a copy or add it to your pull so that you are subscribed to the title, okay? So first up from Dark Horse, Gru meets Tarzan #2 of 4. That came out last week. A bumbling barbarian encounters the cunning Lord of the Jungle, but will Gru wind up destroying the jungle itself or teaming up with Tarzan to fight slavers? With cartoonist Sergio lost and running from hungry lions in Chula Vista's jungle safari land, and scriptwriter Mark doing panels all day at Comic-Con, how will this comic get finished in time? Legendary Tarzan artist Thomas Yates swings in to help and lends us the awesome cover that's featured in front of your eyeballs. Plus, the Referto backup strips continue. Gru meets Tarzan #2 of 4. Next from Dark Horse, man, we had a lot of these and they all sold out. Lucky Devil #2 of 4, also Cullen Bunn. After an exorcism gone wrong, down on his luck schlub Stanley finds that he's retained all of the demon's supernatural abilities and begins to use those new powers to build a cult. Because that's what you would do, right? That's what any normal, regular person would do. Meanwhile, he finds himself hunted down by the legions of hell and demons wanting to reclaim Stanley's newfound powers. The artwork is amazing, the story is fun, it's just a great read, with a cover by interior artist Fran Galan. It is $3.99 for #2. From DC this week, this one just came out yesterday, Suicide Squad Get Joker #2 of 3. This is a big, oversized magazine black label series. I'm sorry about the background noise, you guys. I have no control over what happens in the front of the house. So, after turning the tables on the Suicide Squad, the Joker gained control of the device that could detonate the bomb implanted in each of the Suicide Squad team members' heads. Now forced to do the Joker's bidding, Red Hood, Harley, and the rest of Task Force X find themselves hunted by a new former squad with a single mission: kill the previous squad and take over hunting the Joker. Cover A on the left with Harley on it is by Alex Maleev. Cover B, though, that is awesome. It reminds me of the Goonies or the Venture Brothers by Jorge Fornes. Both of them are $6.99. Remember, magazine size, DC Black Label, okay? From IDW this week, we've got Transformers King Grimlock, number 2 of 5. King Grimlock rampages on as Grimlock sets off to find his place in the strange new world of men, beasts, and magic. He finds himself in the maw of a beast big enough to swallow a Dinobot. It's a fight of incredible strength between the Cybertronian T-Rex and the monster, and someone is taking lessons from Grimlock that may spell his doom. It's like there's a band of hyenas out front. Cover A on the far left is by Alex Horley. Cover B right here beside me is by Ilias Kurizis, $4.99. Transformers King Grimlock number 2. From Image this week, Image pushed this book back to FOC again this week because of a lot of issues with number 1. Cover A's got allocated to stores. It was just kind of a mess. So they decided to move it back to FOC this week. So here we go again with Sweet Paprika, number 2 of 12. Paprika is living a difficult situation brought on by her father's illness and the complex work situation that awaits her. It's the only kind of business she's not really able to handle. A dinner where being dynamic, kind, and relaxed is just as important as being competent. But there's also another reason why the young and skilled professional is in trouble. She doesn't want to see one of the guests again. Cover A by Mirka Andolfo on the left. Cover B by Stiapun Sheikh right here beside me right there. Cover C by Guillaume March over there on the far left. Cover D by Ryan, Andrew Hickenbottom. And then cover E is the not safe for work variant that will come in a poly bag with a cover, because it's not appropriate for people to look at. From Vault, this is another one. It was on FOC last week. They bumped it back again, probably to tie in with the FOC of the second print of number 1, the last book you'll ever read, number 2. Olivia Cade's, it's so much quieter now already. Olivia Cade's cross-country book tour kicks off and is immediately met with resistance. The public lashes out against her treatise on the collapse of society, and it's Connor Wilson's job to keep her safe. As events surrounding the tour grow more violent, more surreal, and more horrific, Connor can't help but wonder, is Olivia's book bringing about strange changes in the world? Cover A is by interior artist Layla Lays. Cover B right here beside me is by Jen Hickman, who will be here on Free Comic Book Day, August 14th. So you can have her sign some stuff. We got a lot of stuff for her to sign. All right, kids, that wraps up the show for the most part. The last bit that we leave you with is the complete list of all of the things that are on FOC broken down by publisher. We've got DC up first, and then we've got all the stuff from everybody else from Diamond. So you got a chunk of Boom, there's some Dark Horse, there's some Dynamite, IDW, Image, and Marvel. And I'll show you how to work this list. So let's say, for example, remember how I talked about the Miles Morales 10th anniversary variants? Well, here's one for Avengers 48. We got one for Captain Marvel 32. There is, I thought there was another one. Maybe that was it. But if you want to see what those covers look like, all you have to do is take and copy this little item code that starts with JUL for July. Okay, we're going to copy that sucker. We are going to open a brand new web browser. We're going to paste that into the search bar of your favorite search provider. And the very first listing that comes up is the previewsworld.com listing for that particular item. You click on that link and boom, there you go. There is Avengers number 48, the Hernanda Souza Miles Morales 10th anniversary variant with him and She-Hulk on the cover. So if that calls to you, if you're a Miles fan, if you like all things Miles, you can order these at FOC to get whichever ones you want. And again, we can check the other one. There's Captain Marvel that has a David Nakayama Miles Morales 10th anniversary variant. Same thing. Copy that item code, paste that sucker into a web browser, click on the previewsworld.com link, and there, kids, you have it. That is Captain Marvel issue number 32 with the Miles Morales 10th anniversary variant by David Nakayama, featuring Miles and Carol and a couple of Flurkins hitching a ride. So use this list to your benefit, to your advantage. You have all day today, all day Friday, all day Saturday, part of the day on Sunday, and part of Monday to put your list together. Let us know what it is that you would like to order. Comment on the post on Facebook, on YouTube. You can send us a message. We'd appreciate it if you left it on Facebook, because then I have one place to go to look at everything. But I understand that's tough sometimes. Let's check out one last thing. Let's see if we have an update on. Let's take a look at the white #1 third print right here. There's, oh, sorry, let me scroll down. There's white #1 third print with an item code. We're going to copy that. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to paste that sucker into a web browser, press return. Here you go. Image coming soon. But you know what? If we go back one, this is what the cover looks like. And the only reason I know that is because this was given to us by Black Mask through a Facebook group. So that cover right there is the third print of white #1. That might be Alice in Leatherland third print or #1. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that this is the white #1 third print right there. So pretty cool. Okay. That is it, friends. That is how you use that list to your advantage. You can go through, if you have questions about what the hell is Rassle Castle, just copy that sucker, open up a new browser, paste that sucker into a web browser, and click on the link. Rassle Castle graphic novel, book 1, Learning the Ropes, from Vault Comics, written by Paul Tobin. So there you go. There's a little synopsis. There's the price. In stores September 22nd, book 1 of 3 volumes. So there's lots of cool stuff. You can go as deep on a dive as you'd like to with this list, but it's all there. Let us know. Put your order together. Send it to us as long as it's here by Sunday at 11 a.m. for DC or Monday at 11 a.m. for everybody else. You are good to go. Okay? Thanks, guys. Remember, we're going to try to do a show tonight from 5 to 7 right here on Facebook for a stream sale. If we don't, that's okay. Make sure you come by on August 14th, Free Comic Book Day. Steve Niles had to cancel, but that's okay because we still have Jorge Corona, Morgan Beam, Jen Hickman, and David Stahl that will all be in the house signing and doing commissions, except for Jorge. So come down to the store. We'll be here from 11 to 7. We've got a whole mess of local comic book creators and artists and stuff that will be outside doing their thing as well. We've got a food truck, Smokin' Zoe's Barbecue will be set up here at the store. Cotton candy machine. There's a bounce house for the kids. And CGC, it's going to be a CGC Signature Series event. So if you would like anything signed, witnessed, and graded, let us know. Reach out to us. We'll let you know what that's going to cost too. Thanks, guys. I'm John. Be safe, and we'll talk to you later. See you tonight.